Alright, and welcome to episode 11 of the Nani Support Group. Here with me, you have my main man.
Yo, it's Zen. You already know I'm here. Big Zen vibes.
Ben Zig Bob. Big Zen Bob.
You can't even think straight.
I can't even think straight, man. Come on.
You're big dick vibes. Like what, bro?
Whoa. I didn't say that.
You said,
nope. I don't know what you're talking about.
Thor, you don't have to acknowledge it.
I didn't. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, welcome to episode 11 of Nani Support Group. And today we don't have too much things on the list. Of course, we're going to be talking about spoiler, of course, chapter 1045 of One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
Also gonna dabble a bit, little bit, not too much, because later on, maybe in a future episode, I'm gonna have my buddy Tim on here, and we're gonna talk about my experience with the Philadelphia Sakura Festival. I'm gonna dabble a little bit into that, but not too much. I'm gonna save it for another day, though. But we're also going to talk about the new One Piece game, One Piece Odyssey, E3 being canceled, and the PlayStation Plus subscription services that they revamped. So, yeah, with that being said, though, let's go ahead and start this episode of Nani Support Group. All right, so let's talk about what? Spoiler warnings here. So big ass spoilers. Okay, so if you read the anime only, okay, I'm warning you right now. Get off. Okay? Get off. If you read the anime only, or if you watch the anime, if you watch the anime only, get off now, because we're talking about the manga. In the manga, there's still some very fresh things that are happening. If you do watch the anime only, I do implore you right now to basically don't look at any One Piece news on social media. Like, just unfollow anything that is One Piece related, because you're going to get spoiled if you follow that on social media. So that's my warning to you guys. We're going to start talking about chapter 1045. So they gave us a nice, good color spread with this one. Unfortunately, I can't show you this because, But, if you do have Shonen Jump, app, or, Viz Media Read, you can find it on their official release of the One Piece manga, and they gave us a nice, good color spread. I like it. I always enjoy little color spreads. You can see, the little different antics. Because you really don't see this side of One Piece anymore. Like, just the whole gang together, just fucking around. You know what I mean? So, you really don't see that. It still bring me back to, how when One Piece started and how they were so carefree. I mean, I'm not saying they're not carefree now, but they're into some serious shit right about now. So, and I like how they do include Jinbei, because Jinbei is an official member of the Straw Hats.
Mm-hmm.
So glad to see him on there having fun. I can't wait. I would like to see, after Wano arc, and this is what I would like to see. One episode, maybe one chapter. It don't have to be 30 chapters, anything, just one chapter. I would like to see just seeing Jinbei interact with everybody on the crew. His interaction of their goofiness, their carefreeness. I want to see Jinbei's reaction to that. I want to see how well he fits in with the other Straw Hats. That's what I want to see after Wano. Just give us one chapter. Hell, you don't have to give us. You don't even have to give us a full chapter. Give us half a chapter. You give us half a chapter of that. I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
But starting off where 1044 left off, with Luffy bouncing around, using the environment and everything like rubber, and like I said, Gear 5 or Sun God Nika form, whatever we want to call it. He's basically a classic cartoon character at this point, man. He is bouncing around, Kaido is trying to fight him, it's sort of like reversible now, because remember how when Luffy was fighting Kaido and Kaido's being drunk and a little bit goofy, Luffy was like getting angry. He was like, "Yo, why don't you take it? How come you're not taking me seriously?" But now the roles are reversed, and it's not like Kaido saying you're not taking me seriously, but you see the goofiness in it. Like Kaido went to eat Luffy, like he bites into him in dragon form, and Luffy like bouncing around inside of him, and it also inflates him like a balloon. So not only does the environment that he touches turns to rubber, but also whoever he touches that he wants will turn into rubber as well. That's
Right.
like that's also amazing. And like I said, I do like the fact that how Luffy he's inside Kaido's body. He said, "Oh, I see two great lights," and his arm just pops out of his eyes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, it's crazy. It's
So
goofy.
into like some Toon World stuff there,
Yeah,
because it's like, yo, this ball is the Toon World from
from
Yu-Gi-Oh
Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah,
and and Looney Tunes mix, like,
exactly. There's no
and that means
reality to fighting
if
Luffy
he
at this point.
touches you, that means you're turning into the Toon World too, because he touches Kaido, and you
Mm-hmm.
know the anatomy of a body, you can't see lights like that, so
Nah.
that means he's like, or maybe his view is different from the rest of the worlds or something. I don't know.
I mean, I think a part of this like Sun God form, like I think they just put say Gear 5, but I'm just calling this a Sun God form. This, to be honest, and I'm just being honest, even though I like it, I personally like it, but I don't see this as a gear form.
Well, Luffy called it a geared form,
I know
so
he called it a gear form, but like I don't see it as that. So it's what I want, not what you want. So okay. But anyway, though, it is just like cartoon. His eyes, Luffy stretches out of Kaido's eyes, stuff like that. Little cartoon things. Like he went giant, and I remember Zen, you was telling me, or you were telling me how at first with the whole giant thing, it's like Luffy could already go giant. Like what's the big deal about that? Wasn't something you said something like that? I'm not
no, I
sure.
ain't said that. I just said that he's been like experimenting with it,
Yeah,
like growing himself big. So I ain't say what's the big deal. Basically, I was saying like, it's kind of been in our face for a while
yeah,
that he could do a lot of this stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because like Gear 3 or Gear 3rd,
yeah,
it's like he's expanded his body, his feet, his arms, and everything. So
yeah.
the giant proportions.
It's a
So
giant proportion. Now this time
and
it's like
full
he's
body.
yeah, it's full body. Like he's not using air. He's not blowing. He's
That's what I
not.
was about to say.
Yeah,
That's not even using air at this point. Like it's kind of crazy, but
it is. Which
maybe he had air in the beginning to, I guess do it like
yeah,
to expand. Like maybe he like always knew he can expand, but he had to use air. But maybe his awakening, he's just like, oh, now I don't have to use air no more.
yeah,
But I
maybe.
don't know.
I mean, like you said, it's this ability. You could tell it's whatever he feels like he wants to do.
Yeah.
Like what I mean. So it's like approaching this battle now with Luffy. You really can't be a logical. You really can't be like a logical like thinker from this standpoint. Like you got to be a free thinker. Like you got to think outside the box, outside of reality. The things that he's doing within this chapter, things that he's doing with this ability, it makes no sense. It has no grounds of reality to it.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and like I said, what, and it's funny. It's funny because like it's one of those things. And like I said, I know Oda himself has said it in interviews where he do not look at theory videos. He don't look at theory articles, theory videos. He don't really read like what the fans are saying or what they're thinking. And the reason why he don't do that is because like he wants to write it the way how he don't want to be motivated in writing it the way how people might think it is. You see what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Which makes sense. It makes a lot of sense because sometimes if you do read some of the things, you're gonna say, "Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let me go ahead and write it that way." It's not, in the terms, it's not fair to somewhat of the readers who are not theory readers. They just want to read chapter by chapter and just enjoying the flow of wherever it happens. So I mean, it's a good way that, like I said, and this is the reason why, like, you don't get the whole when people try to make sense out of what's happening to Luffy and saying, oh, it could be resin. You know, resin has these properties. Luffy was doing these that correlates to this, that correlates to that. And Oda just says, nah, it's just him just being goofy. It's Joy Boy. It's gonna be classic cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
His fighting style, and it's funny when I see this now, and it just kind of likes it even more. This kind of reminds me because of Steven Universe. If you ever seen the Steven Universe movie, if you ever see the Steven Universe movie, they have an antagonist on there named Spinel, and Spinel, when she fought just like Luffy. Like, when I mean just like Luffy, it was just like stretchy arms. She can make one of her arms giant. Like, she could transform any part of her arm. Like, she was very 30 style cartoon. The way how she's drawn, the way, just look at a clip. You go on YouTube, look at a clip of Spinel fight, and you see like things that's like, yo, you got this inspiration from Luffy. Like, you know what I mean? Certain move sets and everything like that. And now it's coming a little bit like full circle. Like, Luffy is like I said, it's not the fact that he's rubber, it's he's cartoony. He's, you know, he's spontaneous, he's cartoony. It really is like a relic of a 30s cartoon, like with the rubber noodle arms, stuff like that. But like I said, even everything in this chapter, it just shows the silliness of how Joy of Gear 5 is. Using Kaido as a jump rope, you know, Kaido throwing a blast at Luffy, him like, you know, like covered in soot, you know, and he goes like a classic cartoon. He gets angry. He's like, now I'm mad, and he goes and he's like revs his like feet, like, you know, like an engine, and then zooms, and it's like a fire blaze right behind him and everything like that. It's like, it's cartoony. I'm enjoying it. Even the fact when Kaido punched him into the ground and his face just like bulges out, and you see everybody who's affected by this. And I'm wondering, like, you don't like, does his ability, you don't have to touch him. It's just his presence has to just be there in order for you to be cartoonified.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. Like, you see Laws, Kids, Chopper, Nami, you know, you see their face, like their eyes bulging out.
I like the scene when he got hit with Kaido's club, and he looked like the son from Soul Eater.
Yes. Yes.
That was pretty. But let's talk. I didn't like the chapter when I first read it. I had to read it like 2 more times. I think I read it 3 times. I didn't like it until like I saw the color, and like I saw the color images of Luffy, and then that's when I liked it. Like how his clothes and everything turned to white, and his hair turns to white fiery. Like that was pretty cool. At first I didn't like it, but then that made me like it. Then I had to read it again, and I'm like, all right, I kind of understand why, but it's still like, to me, it's still like, you know, I don't know.
It's goofy.
I need to be serious.
You want it to be serious. I mean, which, like I said, it's a valid thing. You want it to be serious.
But if you
go ahead,
if you, original silhouette of Sanganika, like he was like rubbery looking. Like his knees wasn't bent; they was like rounded.
They was rounded.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Running, whatever he was doing. So I mean, this is just part of that. Like, this is just part of that. So it's always been. We just never saw it.
Yeah. Like I said, it's one of those things where we're so used when it comes to shonen anime, when you have a serious fight like this, a life or death situation, or a stance to where the main character is going to be bumped up another level, right? There's always a sense of seriousness to it, and even to that transformation, they all have a sense of seriousness. And even, like I said, even in One Piece, when Luffy went Gear 4, it was a sense of seriousness. Like, yes, he was bouncing around, but the way how he looked, it, like I said, it was like, you know, you see the hockey devil fruit images kind of appear on his body, the dark rings around his eyes, the hair kind of like, you know, wild but wavy. You know what I mean? It had a sense of seriousness to it. And then when he goes Snake Man, it was like it was a little bit more threatening, right? Even going back to, like, you know, when he first did Gear 2, like, you know, he did the stance, and the seriousness was, I'm not going to lose again. I'm not going to lose my friends again. You know, I have to protect them, right? sense of seriousness to it, and he goes into that stance and he starts steaming and everything like that. Had the pink hue and everything like that, but it was a sense of seriousness. This one, it's like straight up just cartoony. Like even like I said, when we first see him, it's like wow, like he looks crazy. Like he looks like he's breaking the rules of reality. But it was in our faces the whole entire time before Luffy has his transformation. So before Luffy even goes into gear second, gear third, gear four, there's sense of looniness to stuff. Even like I said, he did it with gear four. I think when he fought, was it Oven? No, I forget who he was fighting. But when he did Gear 4 Tank Man and he ate all the biscuit, it was biscuit.
Yeah.
It was biscuit, and he ate the biscuits. Like he ate all the biscuits or crackers, whatever you want to call it, and he was like really fat, right?
His name was Cracker.
His name was Cracker, was it? Yeah, it was Cracker. Yeah, his name was Cracker. Yeah. But you know what I mean. But you see, it was a sense of silliness in that because he ate it. He was like normally when Luffy gets big like that, it's a gag. It's like, look at him, cheeks are fat. He ate a lot. He's big. He can't move. But he used that move, and he's like, oh, I'm doing Gear 4 Tank Man. You know what I mean? Right. Like it was the only time he did it. So it was in our face. His goofiness was in our faces all this whole time. I think it was mostly the anticipation of something that looks really awesome. But it turns out it's not as awesome. I mean, it doesn't look awesome, but it's like I said, it's still in character, and that's the main thing I like about this. How it's written, it's still in character of Luffy. This is not out of Luffy's character. The one thing I do have a question though, and like I said, they showed it here, is when Luffy was like, he said, "Who says I'm at my limit?" And he like, you see like the hair go, turning black again, and he goes normal. And he wheezes, and the next thing you know, his face kind of drags, and he looks like extremely old, and and
I wanted to say something about that too.
Yeah, and he's like, he gets all tuckered out, and but then like, when Kaido's like, well, this is your end, this is it, and then Luffy was like, well, once we're dead, the only thing that left is bones, and he starts laughing again, and he regains like, he regains like his thing.
His heart starts beating.
Yeah,
kind of him. But I think like this limit, or not just this limit, but I think Luffy is like losing life force in a way.
Yeah.
Like I think this form and all his other forms too has been taking life force from him, and he's just been risking it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So, but this form in particular, like all his forms did this to him, really, at one point or another, right?
Yeah.
Especially like Gear 4, like he's wheezed out, and you know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
Can't, or because he ain't trained with it enough. But this form, like you see how bad his face went. He looked like an old man. At that kind of crazy. So I don't know. I think it's just kind of like it could be like that, a life force thing, or it could just be he need training to use this thing.
Yeah.
Taking such a toll of him, but he don't know it's taking a toll because he's enjoying the fight.
Yeah, he's enjoying the fight. I mean, I think like I said, also what kind of brought him back, because like even Momosuke was like, but his voice is nearly dying out. Like he was saying, his voice is nearly dying out. But then he says, this can't end yet, and he starts naming. You start naming people that that are dead. Well, Kinemon's not dead, but Luffy don't know that, right? So he's like Kinemon, Pedro, like he's naming people that were that's on his side that has fallen, and I think that's kind of keeping him going. Like it's the fact that he can't lose right now, Yeah. Well, what gets me though is like after this fight is done, because like you all know Luffy is going to win, right?
Mm-hmm.
Luffy's going to win. That's going to that's going to be a thing, but. What gets me is what happens after this. What happens after this fight? Because you saw how he lost steam and he looks old. Is that gonna revert back to that?
Yeah.
Will he even be the same after this? Like his regular self. You see what I'm saying? Like it's just a lot of things, especially like I said, that little panel right there where he kind of loses this thing, he's like, man, I'm tired, I'm tuckered out,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe he just need a good rest. I wonder if you're going to be like, yo, Luffy is not going to be able to fight or anything for like like a month. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just saying, like, he need to rest for like a month, like after this fight. Like, who knows? Yeah. But and basically the chapter ends, with Luffy still fighting Kaido. He does this punch that goes through Kaido's face.
Yeah.
He does a punch that goes through Kaido's face. It does affect him. It does affect a lot. And, it ends with Luffy saying, "Isn't this fun, Kaido?" Staring right at the, right at the panel with the eyes, him in Gear 5. And that's how the chapter ends. And we're getting a chapter next week. So there's, no breaks. We're getting a chapter next week. So it'll continue on from there. Like I said, I enjoyed the chapter because it showcased what Gear 5 is capable of doing, but it also showcased the downfall of it as well.
And it showcased like Kaido ain't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah, I mean, well, apparently nobody know what the hell's going on.
But yeah, Kaido's trying to understand it.
He's trying to understand it, yeah. Kaido's definitely trying to understand it. Now, this kind of goes into, we're going to talk a little bit about like a theory. And like I said, you already know Otis don't like theories. That's fine, but it doesn't hurt just to, let's go out, pull out our thoughts, pull out what could possibly happen, the possibilities for Gear 5 and the Devil Fruit entirely. And I think I told you this yesterday, Zen. I was like, yo, I'm thinking that initially with Shanks, because I feel that Shanks is one of the biggest catalysts of like this fruit existence. And what I mean by that, it's not like, it was there way before Shanks was even a thought, but I'm saying that in the terms of like what we're reading now, how Luffy got in the Devil Fruit and everything like that, it's a catalyst of Shanks. Shanks knowing what the Devil Fruit is, going after CP0, stealing the fruit, and I think because he was part of Roger's crew, I'm pretty sure he might have had an inkling or overheard that Roger had a kid, or he had a kid on the way, or a kid that is not in his presence, right? And I'm thinking that, he's thinking, well, Roger, it was like, sort of like a reincarnation of Joy Boy. Like, he shared like that same type of ideology, right? And if it's his kid, that is the future, because like I said, Roger said that, I wish I was in the era of Joy Boy, meaning that he's not Joy Boy, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking like, okay, well, maybe it's his son. And that's probably what Shank was thinking, like, oh, maybe it's his son. Let me go travel to, and it's everything is convenient because it's that whole triangle of relationships, right? Shanks, I honestly do think Shanks knew about Ace. The fact that he goes to Windmill Village, which is close to wherever Shanks might be at that point, or somewhere around that area, because guess who's around the corner there? Garp. Garp wouldn't be in, like I said, the fact that he knows, I'm pretty sure he knows Garp, and the fact that he runs into Luffy in Windmill Village, probably he is waiting for Garp. Maybe he's waiting on information on where you could actually find Shanks. Maybe that's all. That's all stay into play, and that's why he had the Devil Fruit in that bar right then and there. You see what I mean? It's so many possibilities, and then when Luffy eats it, like I said, it kind of changes the dynamic. Because now when I think about it, it's like, okay, maybe Luffy wasn't the intended person, but it's one of those things where Shanks probably understood how that Devil Fruit works, and it's like, well, if this boy ate it, it meant for that boy to eat it.
Yeah. Right.
You see what I mean?
John got a mind of his own.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a good job.
That's my theory on that, though. Like I said, and if it's not, it's okay. Like I said, I'm not. Like I said,
I think telling the Gorsei old dudes that they need to get Luffy or something like that. Like, why he snitching on Luffy?
That's another thing that it might be a red herring. It might be something where to get us thinking that Ace might be a double agent. It could be a way to have Ace stir the pot up so they can, like, I mean, yeah, he's saying Ace, my fault. It may be a sense of seeing Shanks maybe as a double agent, like Shanks as a double agent, or Shanks stirring the pot to see the Devil Fruit awaken.
Yeah.
like I said, these are two options because think about it like this: Luffy would not have awakened if CP0 wasn't there.
Well, I don't know.
No, he wouldn't. No, I guarantee he wouldn't. I don't think so. I think Kaido would have won. Like Kaido would have beat Luffy, and it would have been like I said, it just would have been a thing where he probably would have went back, and he probably would have had to train a little bit more to get back in the thing, and then go after Kaido again. But having that interference, having that term right there, it like because here's the thing: if Luffy didn't interfere, that blow wouldn't have been as bad. Even if he would have gotten hit, it wouldn't have been that bad. Luffy would have been knocked out, but he wouldn't have been like death door. He wouldn't have died. He wouldn't have like his voice wouldn't have disappeared. The fact that the CP0 agent interfered, which dropped Luffy's guard severely down and taking a direct hit, like that's it's sort of like you're fighting somebody and then somebody calls your name and you look over and then boom, you get sucker punched, right? It's a different feeling if you would just if you already looking at the person, you're like, yo, I know I'm gonna get punched and I'm ready for it, right? Right. And you get hit, you're not, it's gonna hurt, you're gonna feel it, you might stumble a bit, but you're not gonna get knocked out. Whereas if you're not paying attention and then somebody interferes and just kind of just taps your shoulder or yells and you lose your concentration on the person you're focusing on, they hit you while the point you're not focusing on them, you're going to get knocked out. Your body wasn't ready. Your mind wasn't ready for that. He caught you off guard. So that's why I say, I think, like I said, it could be a double agent. Shanks could be a double agent. Or right. He could, like I said, because of the knowledge of the Devil Fruit that Shanks knows, and he knows, okay, Luffy, he's following Luffy. He is following Luffy through everything that he's doing. And I think what it is, he understands, he's like, okay, Luffy's now fighting Kaido. He's at the pen, he's in Wano. He's about to fight Kaido. There got to be a way to awaken this Devil Fruit, to get this out of him. And then basically he goes to the elders and talks to them, hey, you better do something about this. Just saying, right? And then CP0 arrives. You know what I mean? CP0 arrives, interferes. Luffy like death's door or dead, either way, whatever you want to call it. And it awakens his Devil Fruit because the willpower tells him, I can't lose like this. This wasn't my all right here. So that's what I say. It's so many possibilities. He could be a double agent. And this might be revealed a little bit more into the Devil Fruit. Maybe they might reveal it in Film Red about him stealing that Devil Fruit from Who's Who. They might show that in the movie. Hey, right now, like I said, all we can do is speculate. But when you speculate, heed the warnings. Okay, heed the warnings, people. When you speculate, don't hold on to it like it's fact. Right. Take your own theories with a grain of salt, because remember, Oda do not read this. He don't read our theories. He don't watch our theories. Okay, he's writing this through the beat of his own drum. So anything is possible. Okay, anything is possible. Anything, whatever direction that he goes. So don't take your theory if it's a sound theory and it sounds great, still take it with a grain of salt, because it can be changed at any point at any time. Yeah. So overall, I enjoyed 1045. I'm enjoying the whole gear thing anyway, and I can't wait to see this animated. Yeah,
when I see it animated, I don't want to hear that shit you was talking about.
Oh, fuck that. Yeah, no. See, when it's the anime, I better hear some nice classic 1930s cartoon sound effects. Boing, like all that type of shit. I want all of it. Give me all of it. Watching this anime, I better be reminiscent of Roger Rabbit and Tex Avery. I'm just saying. No. I'm just saying. All right, but that was the chapter 1045. We're gonna move on to the next to the next day, which is the PlayStation Plus memberships. Now, last week I talked about the PlayStation Spartacus, and I said, yo, soon they're going to be announcing something. Well, guess what? Sony announced what PlayStation Spartacus is, which is basically the revamp of PlayStation Plus. They coming out with 3 tiers: the PlayStation Plus Essential, Extra, and Premium tiers. Each with their own price range. So the Essential is basically what PlayStation Plus now. 2 monthly downloadable games, exclusive discounts, cloud storage for saved games, and online multiplayer access. Same price, nothing that changed from this standpoint. So the Essential is going to be $60 a year, $25 quarterly, or $10 a month. If you just want the Essential, if you got a PlayStation, you want the Essential, just pay that $60 a year. Don't even worry about the month or the quarterly. I wouldn't don't even bother. Any of these, I'm just gonna suggest, do not go for the month or the quarterly. The month is basically you testing to see if you like it, but the quarterly is just, I don't even know who the fuck want to pay $25 every 3 months. Just pay that once. Just pay that $60 for the full year and get it out. Just get it out your brain. Like, it's that's what I say. The extra is the middle tier. And with extra, that's going to be $15 a month, $40 quarterly, $100 a year. And that includes anything that the essential tier has. So you'll get all the essential stuff out of it. But it adds up to 400. Well, it can grow any point, anytime though. But for right now, up to 400 games of the most enjoyable PS4 and PS5 games, including blockbuster hits from our PlayStation Studio catalogs and third-party partners. That's the extra tier. Games in extra tier are downloadable for play, so you don't have to stream them. You can download it to your consoles and you can play it, and that's for the PS4 and PS5. Of course, if you only have the PS4, you can't play the PS5 games unless it's one of those games where it's also on the PS4. And that is for $100 a year. Basically, that's like PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now. That's basically what that sounds like to me. Except they just basically just combined it and called it a thing. And then you have the PlayStation Plus Premium, which is $18 monthly, $50 quarterly, and $120 yearly. That will include basically all the benefits for essential and extra tier, but it also adds up to 340 additional games. That includes the PS3 library, but that's only available for streaming, and a catalog of the beloved classic games available in both streaming and download option for the original PlayStation, PlayStation 2, and PSP generation. It also offers cloud streaming access for original PlayStation, PlayStation 2, PSP, PS4 games offered in extra and premium tiers in markets where PlayStation Now is currently available. Customers can stream games using PS4 and PS5 consoles and PC. And also it includes time limited game trials, which is basically timed demos of new games. So basically, like I said, they broke it up in 3 tiers. Of course, the best tier, if you are into PlayStation stuff, is the PlayStation Plus Premium. With the addition of having backwards compatibility, well, not so much backwards compatibility, but games that you can play on those consoles from the PlayStation, PS2, PSP, and PS3 games. Even though PS3 games you can play on PlayStation Now, stream only, and this also goes for this thing as well: PS3 stream only or cloud streaming only, and that's because PS3 had those. I mean, it was hard to develop on PS3s. Hence the reason why it's harder to emulate on PS3 games. That's why they're doing stream only, which is, hey, it is what it is, But if you don't have a PlayStation, you got a PC. You can only stream the PS4 and You can only stream I think like the PS4 games. I think, or anything that is streamable. I think you could play on the PC, but I don't think you can play the classics though. I think it's just PS3 and PS4, and I think some PS5 games that can be streamed on the PC. Overall, it's mainly you get all the benefits if you have a console at hand. Some people are saying that this is a Game Pass killer. You know, um, Yeah, no, it's not. This is not a Game Pass killer. I'm not saying this is horrible, but like I said, PlayStation is not even going to allow like day one access to their new games. So like God of War Ragnarok, when it comes out, is not going to be available on this. You can still have to go out and buy it. Eventually, I think it will be, but not day one.
Right.
Unlike Xbox Game Pass, look, Halo comes out, any Bethesda game that's come out, you know, shit. Currently, you know, when the deal actually strikes down, which they are, it's just a time thing. Activision Blizzard, when their games, you know, drop, it's going to be available on Xbox Game Pass. And the reason why that can happen, and like I said, this last week, when people were saying Xbox is dying, they don't got no money, X, Y, and Z, gotta understand, Microsoft is behind this. Microsoft's got money. Is Xbox losing money behind putting their day one releases on this console? Maybe. But that's the thing. They have the money to do it. And on top of that, it's all about accessibility, baby. I'm able to play these games on the PC. I could play them on my phone, and I could play it on my Xbox One. I could play it on my Xbox Series S and X. Accessibility. Like I said, this is not play. Like I said, I'm happy that PlayStation is finally waking up and saying, "Hey, people want to play older games." I'm happy about this. I genuinely am, and I hope, and I honestly hope it does thrive because, like I said, I'm all down for competition. Because you know why you want competition in this media in video games is because it keeps them from being stale. Okay, it keeps them from doing whatever the fuck they want to do. Okay, as long as they're competition, they're gonna be somebody there that can say I can do it cheaper or I can do it better. Competition is a good thing. I'm glad they're doing this. I'm happy that they're doing this. I might, like I said, I might sign up maybe like a month to see what they got. Now, they're supposed to be released in June. They're supposed to be released in June of this year. So, like I said, they haven't released on what games or what PlayStation games or PSP games. I'm glad they actually put PSP games on here. But you know what I really want to like to see? Vita games, because Vita games are fantastic. They're really good games, and like I said, I think they should add Vita games on this maybe in the near future. But I know Zen, you really don't give a shit about PlayStation. But what are your thoughts on this?
Don't care.
Don't care.
Nice guy. I'm a soon to be PC guy.
Soon to be PC guy. All right. Hey, look. That's your opinion, my friend. That's your opinion, my friend. I'm an all around gamer. I just want to see everything thrive. You know, I want to see everything thrive though. But yeah, that was the PlayStation Plus. You know, next let's go into the cancellation of E3. What? Yeah. E3 2022 digital and physical conference has been officially canceled as of March 31st. The ECA came out and basically was like, yo, we're not having it this year. They didn't have E3 back in 2020 because of COVID. And then last year, 2021, it was a digital conference. But this year, they just completely canceled it because, like I said, they're saying, I think they're saying it might be COVID related or they're not sure what's going to happen. My theory on this is the fact that they don't know what to do anymore because they canceled back in 2020, right? Because they canceled back in 2020, a lot of companies like Sony, Microsoft, you know, they did their own press conference. And you know what? By these companies doing their own press conference, it's a lot cheaper on them. They don't have to travel anywhere. They don't have to send out their PR people out anywhere. They can do it at home, put up a YouTube video, you know. Like I said, don't cost anything to create a YouTube account. And if you already got the audience, like I said, Sony's going to have an audience. Microsoft's going to have an audience. Nintendo always did their own press conference. They kind of did there with the Nintendo Direct. They've been doing that since, what was it, 2012, 2013? I think it was 2014. I think they started doing that. Nintendo was the first one to say, yeah, we're not gonna be at E3, but we're gonna have our own thing. You know, and then other companies started following. Xbox started doing theirs. Sony did their state of plays. So it's like, it's really like E3 is sort of like a thing of a past. And I think currently right now they finally realize, especially with COVID, with they can't really do much outside the realm of physical things. Like things are starting to open back up now, but they realizing that these companies, they could do their own. They could have their own press conference. They could reveal their own games at their own disclosure, at their own time. All it takes is just a tweet to say, "Hey, we're having a little press conference." I'm just throwing out a name here, Capcom. Capcom, we're gonna have a little press conference in 2 days. You know, come check out our stream on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And then people to go there, and people go. They hopping in droves, man. You're gonna have IGN eyeballing it. You're gonna have all the media sites eyeballing it, and all this is for free without you even leaving your house.
Right.
Without you leaving your house, man. And they'll give you all the information they want to give you right then and there without the platform of E3, because it's not needed anymore. And I think right now, like I said, they did say, now ECA did confirm that they are going to do an E3 for 2023. They are going to do an E3 for next year. So this kind of tells me right here that they're planning things out. They're trying to figure out, where do they stand, where are they relevant in this day and age. I think that's what it is.
Right.
I think that's what it is, though. But how do you feel, then, that there's not going to be an E3 this year?
I don't see why. What the excuse did they give?
Let's see. After previous canceling of E3, ESA now informed that meaning E3 has been the news broke. Okay. You didn't really get. I mean, I really don't see the excuse on why. The only thing I could think is, like I said, of the events that happened from 2020 to 2020 to today, with the event canceling due to COVID and the digital only. That's I guess that's the only excuse they have, really. It's COVID.
I mean, they just missing opportunities to present new stuff and missing money opportunities. That's on them.
I mean,
Like,
yeah. I mean, they didn't, like I said, they didn't really say, like, oh, this is the reason why we're doing this. But it's like, at the end of the day, like I said, I think what it is, that they probably wanted to do E3 20. They probably wanted to do E3, because remember last year, even with the digital with the digital platform, PlayStation wasn't a part of it. Sony's like, nah, I don't want to be a part of it. I'm good. Like you said, I think it's just other companies realizing that, hey, we can do our own platform, and they're doing that. And now E3 going to have to find a way to basically, stay relevant. Times are changing, man. Times are changing. People feel more inclined to stay inside instead of going out, and that's the reality of it. That's the reality of it. I mean, people still want to go outside. Shit, I still want to go outside. But yeah, they say E3 2022. Don't look forward to it, because it's not going to happen. But that doesn't mean there not going to be no news around that time. So I'm just saying, like I said, that doesn't mean like you're not going to hear any news about any time upcoming games or anything like that. That's going to happen. I'm pretty sure Nintendo's going to do their thing. Xbox going to have their thing. Sony's going to have their thing. Capcom, Bandai or whatever. Like they're gonna have their time. They're gonna have their time to shine. So next, we're gonna go into the One Piece Odyssey, One Piece new game that is being developed, and I think it's supposed to come out. I think it's sometime this year, or is it next year? I can't remember.
I don't know. They just dropped the trailer, though.
Yeah, they dropped the trailer. I don't think they had a release date for it yet, but it's made by the same people who made Pokemon Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond. And there's somewhat a big question mark of the graphics of it, because if you play Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl is not the prettiest looking game, and having this and having them, make this game, it's you know, we'll like they said, it's probably not gonna be the most prettiest looking game. It might, like I said, not saying just because it doesn't look pretty doesn't mean that it's going to be a great game. It might be a great game. But
Yeah,
this is
all the graphics,
yeah.
so now, nah.
So this is not like the Pirate Warrior game. So you're not. It's not gonna get the Pirate. It's not like Pirate Warrior style, and it's also and it's definitely not like It's not a fighting game. This is an adventure RPG. So just like if you was playing
Trash,
what's that? Was that
trash.
trash? You saying trash? Nah. It
You know
ain't.
I don't like RPG games.
Well, I mean, it's. I think it's mostly action RPG. I don't think it's turn based. I don't think it's turn based. I think it's action. If you played the oh god, I can't think of the name. It was the games on the Wii, which they was actually pretty good games, own original stories and everything like that. But um, I mean, I'm just hoping that it's not like World Seeker because World Seeker wasn't that great of a game. I mean, I own it, but it's not that great of a game. I'm a big fan of the Pirate Warriors games, but when it comes down to the original, like when it comes down to the original storyline for these One Piece games, I mean, they're not bad. And it's almost like a movie. It's almost like you looking at a One Piece movie. That's what it's like basically like. But as far as gameplay goes, it could be very it 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 could be very dull. It could be very dull, and I'm hoping that it's not going to be too much of like a item finder game, like fetch quest type of game. Like I need to get to the woods area, but this old man needs me to chop down trees, and I now got to go and ask three villagers uh if they have material so I can create an axe. Like I don't like don't do that. Don't do that. I hope they don't do that. But I mean, I saw the trailer. It looked fine. I like the way how the trailer looked, and that's what the trailer's supposed to do. It's supposed to get you like enticed, supposed to get you like to kind of be like, ooh, like this looks interesting. I'm just waiting for actual gameplay. I was waiting for to see like not so much as the plot line, but just I want to see the combat in the game and how how's it gonna go from there. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's going to come out on all on systems. So they're saying Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X, and PC. Of course, I'm going to be buying this on the PC. Hands down, this is going to be a PC thing for me. I'm going to buy this on the PC. Hands down. That's what I'm going to do. So, I mean, what's your thoughts on this?
I mean, I'm not gonna play it.
Blasphemy.
I never played none of the One Piece games for real, for real.
Blasphemy. See, look at that. See? But, and you call yourself a One Piece fan.
I mean, the games is trash. Like,
how can you sit there? How can you sit there and say the games are trash? You never played the games.
I played them. Like I seen gameplay. That's why.
I seen gameplay. That's not seeing gameplay and playing are two different things, buddy.
Listen.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I'm not in this trash, and the reason I'm not playing it because it looks trash. Like this game looks trash to me. I don't know. It's not. It didn't. Like when I seen One Piece Odyssey. I'm like, oh, this joint gonna be nice, right? I seen the cover, like on YouTube. You know, they got the cover. I seen that, and then I seen the title. I'm like, oh, this might be some some world stuff where you could travel and explore and all of that. Nah, this joint trash. Like, I looked at it. I'm like, what the hell they got going on? Like, it was. I'm cool. I don't care if it comes out or not. I'm not playing that.
Wow. See that people? Hateration. Haterade. You know? Oh man. But all right though, let's get into our final topic, which is the Philadelphia Sakura Festival. Da, da, da. Yeah, so Philadelphia Sakura Festival normally happens during the spring. If you're in the Fairmount Park area, yeah, they have it there at around where the Japanese house is on Fairmount Park, and they have it, every year. They normally have it. I don't think they had it on 2020 because of COVID, but I think they did have it last year. I'm not really didn't really follow it, but normally it's just one day. People get together, they have vendors, and they give you a little taste of Japan in Philadelphia. Normally there's a bunch of cosplayers, a lot of cosplayers, and a lot of just people who just want to come together and chill, stuff like that. My last experience with this was back in 20, I want to say 2014 or 2015. Um,
It was
and
that
I, yeah,
because I remember telling me about this, and it wasn't that long ago.
you don't think so? Then it might have
I
been
remember,
2016 then.
I remember you told me about this, and you was telling me how you was like kind of disappointed.
I was like
But it
the last time I
wasn't.
went, I was a little. I think it might have been 2016 then.
I think it was like 2018, 19
Nah, nah,
ish.
nah, nah. It wasn't. Nah, it wasn't 19. Nah, it wasn't that. I know that for sure. It wasn't that.
All right,
I know that
right.
for sure. But anyway, like my last experience with my buddy Tim, and we went there. I want to say about at the latest I would say 2016 because I know it was over 5 years ago when I went, and I wasn't impressed by it at all. The vendors, like, they didn't have I when I went there I didn't see no vendor. This was like about over a little over 5 years ago. I didn't see no Japanese snacks or street foods or anything like that. So I didn't see no grilled squid. I didn't see takoyaki, taiyaki, um, you know, I didn't see the soba noodles. Like I didn't see none of that. You know, um, even when it came down to drinks and stuff like that, the performance was, it was forgettable. I'm not gonna lie, the performance was forgettable, and then we was somewhat lied to because not only do we have to pay to get into that park area. Oh, you had to pay. I remember you had to pay $10 to get into the park area. You also had to pay for the tour to get into the Japanese tea house, and we thought that we asked him. He's like, "Hey, do you will we be able to see like a Japanese tea ceremony? Like, is there going to be something like that involved in this?" And the person that was there said, "Oh yeah, sure, yeah, we are. We would look. I paid my extra money to get into. I can't remember how much I paid to do the tour, but went through it." And they was like, "Oh, that building right there, yeah, that's where they do the Japanese tea ceremony. I think we're gonna go in there." Nope, it was closed. They said, "Oh, we can't go in there." Nope, nah. That's that's for you can only go in there, and they only do the tea ceremonies outside of the festival. So meaning that, like, you had to go back there, pay for another tour to go back there, uh, when it wasn't a festival.
Mm.
And it's like, wow, like, you could have let us know, you could have written that, you could have done something like that, but no, instead they didn't do that. And I was like, wow, like, I felt cheated out. I felt cheated out, and I was like, yeah, no, this is not my cup of tea. And also, like I said, it just didn't. It felt, and what it felt more like was just a anime hangout.
Hmm.
It felt like that, and that wasn't what I was expecting either. I wasn't expecting that at all. So I didn't care for it. But I'll get into detail because maybe on the next podcast, I'll have my buddy Tim on here, and he could tell his side of the story as well. But this year they're doing something different. So instead of the single day festival, the Japanese American Society of Greater Philadelphia hosts the Sakura concert series from April 8th to the 10th of 2022. The 3-day concert series explores the intersection of Japanese and African American cultures through musical performance across ranges of styles, including hip hop, jazz, and percussions. Um, Basically, the highlights include a hip hop concert Friday, April 8th, Taiko concert and illuminated cherry blossom viewing Saturday, April 9th, and jazz, taiko, and reggae performance Sunday, April 10th. So yeah, so this year they're doing a 3-day. It's a 3 days festival, and they're going to infuse it with the African American uh culture, like,
Yeah,
through this. That is the first time they're doing this. Uh,
I told
yeah,
you.
Zen, give us your thoughts on this one.
I think they're doing that because they're not making enough money from just the Japanese. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the Japanese lore or whatever it is. or just from the people who like Japanese culture. So they're going to include the people who spend the most money on the stupidest things. Not saying that that's stupid, but I'm saying like the black people, we spend the most money on things that we like and enjoy. So why not include the black people and add them into this so we can make more money from them? You know what I'm saying? I think that the original, Sakura Festival may not have been living up to what they believed it was going to. And now they just trying to find different ways to,
Keep it
because they
alive.
Spanish John, they could even went a Chinese way, but instead
They
where
could
they
have.
go, community, you know what I'm saying? So they know black community. Yeah, go use the one in the room, son.
Yeah.
They know the black community likes you know, Japanese and anime culture. So why not include them?
Why not?
So that's what I think. I just
Yeah.
think that they're
Now,
built, and
now
it's
here's this
nothing wrong.
thing. I mean,
It's just a thing that's like, yo, we know they're gonna come and spend money
yeah,
if we
it's
in
the
the past.
reality of things. It's
Yeah,
not like I said. It's just not. This is not a shot on y'all being racist. Like it's not. That's not a shot on that. I know. I'm not saying like it's a shot on that. Um, it's just like I said. It's the reality of things, and just the way how America in general moves when it comes down to black people in America. This is how it moves, and this is how businesses work. Also says all performances are free, non-ticketed, and open to the public. But yet it says noted time tickets are needed to enter the nearby Japanese Cultural Center. So basically, like I said, this is another thing that kind of like sparks it. So if this is a free event and non-ticketed, right? It says all performances are free and non-ticketed and open to the public, but time tickets are needed to enter the nearby Japanese Cultural Center. What did that mean? What does that mean? Where these performers are being handed? Are they going to be on the public property, or are they going to be in the Japanese Cultural Center property?
right.
You see what I'm saying? Like now, like I said, it's little things like that. And I mean, I understand they want to do crowd control. You know what I mean? You don't want a huge group of people around, but I feel that they saying that because they say, hey, we're including, like I said, and I'm gonna say it, they're including hip hop, they're including the rap community in this, and I think they're like, all right, we don't want it to be crazy. You don't want it to be too niggified. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's crazy because like, so I guess the time tickets are needed, right? So I'm pretty sure the time tickets are, you got to get those in advance. And like I said, I'm just being real here. This is not advertised. This is something you have to look up. If you in that community, a lot of people don't know about the Japanese Cherry Blossom Festival. They don't know. They really don't know about that. So you have to be in the know to know that. So just imagine if you just happen to go by and say, "Oh, wait a minute, what's happening over here? Oh man, this site is lit. Let's just go over here." And they stop at the gate. Where's your time ticket? You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, you gotta get a time ticket, and then by the time you realize you need a time ticket, everything is sold out. All the times are sold out. So you won't be able to experience it. And I guarantee, just like how the Made in America concerts, how they use hip hop, how they use black culture to sell things, but yet we're not in the front row.
Yeah.
Because it's not advertised to us. But yet we sell. Our culture sells. This is, I mean, I know this kind of going into the realm of saying, but like this is basically a form of racism. This is a form of racism. It's not blatant in your face, but this is what we experience.
Well, I think it's more so.
Like I'm not saying like it's not. I'm not talking about like the Japanese festival. I'm not talking about them. I mean, I'm talking the entity, the how they sell our culture, how America sell our culture without us even being there. That's what I'm talking about. This is just a product. This is just a product of that. And like I said, it's not the intentions. I honestly don't think that this is the intentions on the people who who decided to do, who said, hey, let's bring the culture together. Because you know what? I'm down for that. I don't mind having different cultures come together and learning more about each other.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. I honestly don't.
All right, let me ask you this question. When you went to the Sakura Festival, were there any Japanese people there?
Yeah. There were Japanese. Here's the thing. There were Japanese people there.
Not working there.
Was that?
About not working there, but coming there to,
Who? Okay. So working there, yes. There were Japanese people working there. Japanese people that were actually there, it was basically mostly white people. It was basically mostly white people. And the large majority of those groups wasn't like, oh yeah, we're just into Japanese stuff. It was mostly just people who are into anime.
Right.
That's when I went, and that was about, like I said, that was roughly a little bit over 5 years ago when I went. I've noticed that, and there's a lot of events that I go to that I do notice, especially if they put hip hop in front. Now, the only festival I know where it's like it is predominantly black is the Adunde Festival.
Right.
And that's the only festival I know in Philly that's predominantly black. Vendors, people that go there, people that work there, it's predominantly black. It's open to the public, but it's predominantly black. But mostly any other festival, and they want to shoehorn, hey, guess what? We got hip hop. You know what I mean? And I'm using, like I said, the reason why I'm using like the Made in America concert, I'm using that because that is a heavily influenced hip hop like concert that happens like near the end of the summer, and just like I said, just strictly off of observation here. So it's like I'm not saying this like me not knowing. This is me just observing this because I live in Philly, and I like when this festival happens, I see a lot of people like going to buy tickets. I'm saying black people doesn't buy their tickets; they do buy their tickets. But when you look at front row, guess who's there? Not us.
Right.
Not us. Like we're there, but we're not in all the way in the front.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like you market it, but we're not included. We're not there. You see what I mean? We're not advertised. But yet they're using our culture to advertise us. Using our culture to benefit from it, but nothing goes back to the community.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing goes back to the culture of where that culture originated from. You see what I mean? That's where I draw a line, and that's why, like I said, when I look at this, it's like I'm glad, like I'm happy that they're including something within the community because you're in the community, and most people that lives around there, they're black. I'm just being real here, okay? If you go on down Fairmount Park area, if you go around anywhere in that area, most people that live around there is black.
Right.
We just I'm keeping it a buck. You know what I mean? Thing about it though is the fact that I guarantee you, because this little sentence right here, all performances are free, non-ticketed, and open to the public. Note, time tickets are needed to enter the nearby Japanese Culture Center. That just tells me right there. I guarantee you, I guarantee you, if I knock on 10 doors in that neighborhood and say, hey, do you realize they're going to have a Japanese festival with included African American culture concerts in your neighborhood next week? I guarantee you, out of those 10 houses, 2 will know.
Right.
2 will know. So by the time people go over there and they realize they're having something over there, oh, it sounds lit. Oh man, like, I'm down for it. You go over there, I guarantee you, where's your time ticket at? What do you mean? Oh, I mean, it's free, but you have to go online and you have to, use the time. You have to select the time, and that's how you get your time tickets. And I guarantee you, there's going to be a limit to that. There's going to be a limit to how many people is going to be available for a specific time. And then what happens is by the time we realize it, that whole weekend is already going to be full and booked. So guess what? We're not going to be in there. We're going to be on the outside, but we're not going to be in there. And if you're able to get your ticket, and go in there, I guarantee you, you're not going to see a lot of us in there. Not gonna see a lot of us in there. I'll tell you that right now. I'm just
Right.
I'm just being real. I'm just being real. This is not a shot. It's not a shot at like other cultures and we can't be together. No, we can. We can be together. But our country is not built on us being together. It's built on profit. And what sells in this country? What culture sells in this country? Black. Black people sell. Our culture sells. That's the
Right.
reason why they included hip hop, jazz, reggae. You know, it's funny how I'm looking at this, and there's so many different avenues of Japanese music, and the only thing the Japanese music they have to basically in the forefront of this is taiko, a taiko concert. That's it.
You better get that. You better play that song. I wonder if you know.
I mean,
That's what they play.
I'm just saying though, this think about the highlight for this is only one thing Japanese out of the highlight.
Yeah.
In that, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, maybe I'm reaching. Maybe I'm being like Monkey D. Luffy and stretching my arms out and reaching. Maybe I am. I don't know. This is just this. I'm just speaking out of experience and how I felt as a black man in America when I see my culture being sold and I'm not profiting. Not, you're not saying I should be profiting off of it, but I'm not being recognized for it.
Yeah.
It's still getting side-eyed on the street because I'm wearing a hoodie. I'm just saying. I'm saying. I'm gonna go. I mean, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to go. I'm gonna see what it's about. No, I'm seriously. I'm gonna see what it's about. I'll look a bit more into it. I'll see if they got any time ticket. They see if they got any free time tickets. You know, well, I'll check it out.
Pull up to me and Saudi.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Like I said, because it doesn't. Like I said, it just says time tickets are needed to enter the nearby Japanese Culture Center. So they're not saying that these concerts are going to be on the Japanese Culture Center, but it's just one of those things. There's like, what do you mean by that? You know what I mean? I'm not sure what they mean by that. You know, like where exactly are these concerts being held during this festival? You know, that's just my only question. That's all. But yeah, you know, Japanese festival doing something different this year. Between the 8th and the 10th of this month, down at Fairmount Park. You could check it. You could check out all the information on visitphiladelphia.com or visitphilly.com. You can put that into Google and they'll have it on there of what's going on. And also, like I said, I'm not gonna lie, I do like visiting this site too, visitphilly.com, because it gives you a lot of events. It gives you a lot of events and also restaurants and stuff like that are kind of like in the know-how around Philadelphia. So there's a lot of things that you can look up to this. I mean, it's actually every once in a while I do look into this and see like what type of festivals or what type of events they might be having in the city. It's nice. It's nice to know that, and especially if the events are happening in your own neighborhood. And like I said, this is not advertised. It's something that you don't see on a regular basis. You know, you got to go and look into it. And if it happens in your neighborhood, best believe your taxes is going through that. So why not? Why not experience where your money is going? You know, it might sound, and like I said, I'm guilty of this. Before I leave, I want to leave off with this though. I'm highly guilty of this. I've always thought that during Christmas time, Christmas Village, I used to think, man, that's so corny. Like it looks so dull, looks so corny. I don't want to go there. I went this past year to Christmas Village, and I was like, holy shit! It was amazing. It was fine. I had a good time. It was good vibes all around. There was no of course, there was a lot of people, but it wasn't like anytime you could hop into a line and nobody argues, nobody pushing you, nobody trying to cut in front of you. Everybody just vibing. That's what it was like. And I was like, yo, I say try out events. If you see an event, and even if it might seem corny, try it out. The worst that's going to happen is, I don't like it. I'll move on.
Yeah.
Try it out. So, yeah. I might have said a lot about, just other things, but I highly implore visiting Visit Philly.com, see what type of events they are, and then if you want to be a part of those things, see if you need some tickets, see if you need anything. They'll have it all on there. So check it out though. But yeah,
Right.
I'm gonna try to do that. I'm gonna try to do that next week. I'm gonna try to go. I'll look more into it though.
Just keep me posted.
Oh yeah, we'll do, man. But yeah, that was Nani Support Group episode 11. You know, I enjoyed this. I do. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy having my friends on here. You know, talking about stuff and our feelings and everything. But yeah. So Zen, where can we find you, my buddy?
You know, zenfx.com, XENYTHX.com. Everything is in there.
All right.
Yeah.
And you can find me on Instagram, Facebook. I've been creating my first TikTok. Yeah.
It was a good video too.
Yeah. I actually created my first TikTok, so you can hop on Unqualified Gamer 215 on my TikTok. Go check out the video. I'll also leave a link to that below on the comment section, and I will see y'all guys in the next week though.
All right.
Peace.